Warning, watch this video or you will regret it. Have you ever thought that one day when your hair is gray, your limbs are shaking, your children and grandchildren can't be by your side, you will have to leave your familiar home, leave your loving memories to move into a nursing home? I used to think that it was a safe, secure decision with professional care. But then, just a few months later, I realized I regretted it. And today, I want to share 6 heartbreaking truths that anyone should know before making this decision. Lonelier than at home, extended details. Before moving to the nursing home, I thought, here I would definitely be less lonely because there are many elderly people like me, there are nurses, there are caregivers, there are people to talk to all day. But the truth is completely the opposite. Although there are many people here, everyone lives in their own world. Each person has a sadness, an illness, a void in their heart that no one can fill. Stories often revolve around medicine, illness, and old memories. In the evenings in the nursing home, the room is so quiet that I can hear my own breathing. I suddenly realize that loneliness is not because of a lack of people, but because of a lack of affection, a lack of genuine care. At home, even though the children and grandchildren are busy, there are still moments when you hear familiar voices, see loved ones walking around. Even if it is just a few minutes a day, it is enough to warm your heart. But here, every day is just a repetition of the same old unfamiliar faces, lifeless eyes, the hurried footsteps of nurses, and the feeling that I am being forgotten by the world. Just keep growing. Solution: before deciding to go to a nursing home, consider asking relatives, neighbors, or home care services. A familiar roof, old photos on the wall, and the laughter of children and grandchildren can be better medicine than any pill. Restricted space, loss of freedom, extended details. When I moved into the nursing home, I thought I would have a quiet space, a place to relax and rest without having to worry. But the longer I lived here, the more I realized the truth. The nursing home was no different from a prison that I had entered myself. I couldn't go anywhere when I wanted. Everything was on a very strict schedule. From meal times, bedtimes, to exercise times, all were arranged according to a common rule. I had no right to decide my own time. Every morning I felt like I was being controlled, as if all my freedom had been taken away. At home, no matter how difficult it was, I could still freely do what I liked, go out when I wanted, even just walk around the garden. But at the hospital, even those little things became distant actions. This really made me feel like I had lost a part of myself, feeling no longer the one who decides my life, just passively accepts what others impose. And that makes me feel even more useless, as if I have nothing left to contribute to this life. Solution: before deciding to go to a nursing home, ask clearly about the freedom and personal activities in the home. If possible, choose a nursing home that has programs to help you participate in outdoor activities or activities of your choice. If not, you can also ask your family to maintain outside activities so that you do not feel constrained. High costs and financial dependence, extended details. Moving into a nursing home, I thought I would no longer have to worry about daily living expenses. But the price I paid was a heartbreaking truth that I did not expect. Nursing homes are a huge financial burden. Every month I have to pay a huge amount of money to the nursing home, which has exhausted my life savings. At first I thought I could pay, but as I live longer, these expenses become more and more difficult, especially when my health is not as good as before. I can no longer work or have a stable income. Not to mention, the nursing home does not provide all the services I need. There are special treatments, medications that I have to take care of myself, and these are additional costs. I started to feel like a financial burden to my children, even though I tried not to bother them too much. There were times when I feel ashamed that you didn't prepare better for your future. For older people, health and finances seem to be the 2 most important factors in life. But when one of these 2 is lost, you will find yourself no longer in control. Solution: before deciding to go to a nursing home, learn about health insurance plans and financial assistance programs for seniors. Another option is to look for a nursing home that has reasonable fees or financial assistance services. You can also ask your family to work with you to create a long-term financial plan so you don't have to worry about the cost. Lack of personal care and understanding. When I moved into the nursing home, I thought I would receive attentive, caring care. But when I actually lived here, I realized that everything followed a common process for everyone, and personal care was extremely lacking. The nurses here were all very busy. There were too many people to take care of, and they could only do basic things like helping me eat, bathe, and change clothes. But what I needed more than that, genuine inquiries and care, were very rare. I remember when at home my children were busy, but still called to ask how I was. But here, no one asked me how I felt, or if I wanted to talk to anyone. There were mornings when I woke up feeling lost and empty. Even though I lived among so many people, I felt like an invisible person. I was not treated as an individual, but just part of a larger system. This makes me feel worthless, just a tool for the staff here to do their job. Solution: before deciding to go to a nursing home, find out about the quality of personal care provided by each home. Make sure there are enough caregivers and that the home has a program for psychological support for seniors. If possible, ask your family to visit you regularly and maintain close contact with you to ensure that you do not feel abandoned. Loss of freedom of choice. Extended details. This is something I never thought about before moving into a nursing home. The loss of freedom to choose my own life. Before, I could decide everything for myself, from going out when I wanted to participating in activities I loved, or even just choosing what to eat for each meal. But in a nursing home, those choices were almost gone. Everything was limited to a certain framework. The menu, the activities, the hours of living, everything was pre-decided. Although there might be a few choices, they still couldn't compare to the freedom I used to have. This made me feel like I was no longer myself. I no longer had the right to decide about my life, no longer had the sense of autonomy that I was so proud of having. The feeling of losing the right to choose, even the smallest things, really made me feel like I was gradually becoming a part of a system without the ability to change it. Solution: before deciding to move into a nursing home, find out how much freedom you can still maintain in the facility. Some nursing homes allow seniors to participate in small decisions about daily living, such as choosing what to eat or participating in outdoor activities. Discuss your wishes with your family and find a nursing home that fits your needs. Loneliness and loss of family connection. One of the most painful things about moving into a nursing home is the feeling of loneliness. Although I live among many people, sometimes I feel really lonely, with no one to share my thoughts and feelings with. There is no family around to ask about, no happy conversations like when I was at home. My children, although loving, have jobs and their own lives that prevent them from visiting me often. Phone calls gradually become less frequent. In fact, when I moved into a nursing home, I lost an important part of my life. The connection with my family. There are no more meals together, no more weekends together. I feel like I am left in the four walls of the nursing home, day after day, like a stranger among strangers. This loneliness is not only physical, but also the absence of deep relationships. I realize that although the nursing home can provide me with basic medical services and care, but it cannot replace the love and warmth of family and loved ones. Solution: before deciding to move into a nursing home, consider the importance of family ties and social activities. Look for nursing homes that have programs to support maintaining family relationships and encourage visits and socializing. If possible, ask your family to visit you regularly or participate in community activities outside the home so you don't feel lonely. A nursing home is not a home, and there is no place that can replace family. If possible, try to live fully in your own home. close to your children, friends, and community. In the end, old age does not only require medicine, food, and clothing, but most importantly, love, connection, and the feeling that you are still valuable in this life. If you find this video interesting, please like, share, and subscribe to look forward to the next videos. Have a nice day.